Hello and welcome back to Renovating Orchard Cottage. Now it's been a long time, I'm sorry. We've been really busy, both with the house and just with life in general. I started a new job. At some stage we've all had COVID and we've had a family holiday over in France. And between all of that, we have found time to do more work on the house, although predominantly it's been outside because, as you can imagine, at this time of year, everything is growing at such a fast rate. Actually, if you look behind me there, you can see that we've done a lot of clearing of vegetation, and we've now got views through in the back garden to the fields and beyond, which is really nice, especially this time of year with the weather being as nice as it has been. Now we've been doing lots of other jobs as well on the house. The driveway in particular, we've done quite a bit on the drive. We'll have other videos which we'll publish in due course that will show the progress on that, but we haven't quite finished that yet, so nothing to share at this point. But what I wanted to do today is show you one of the outbuildings. Now, if you saw some of our earlier videos, you will recall that I talked about a number of different outbuildings that we had and how one of them in particular we wanted to renovate and do up and use as guest accommodation. And I just wanted to show you that one today, just to give you an idea of what it's like now and what our plans for it are. Well, here it is. And it sits in a very nice location, a stone's throw from the house and in the southwest corner of the plot. So behind all these bushes, once we've cut them down and tamed them a little bit, will be lovely views out across the fields. And equally on that side, I'm pointing west now. Once we cut these bushes down to expose some of the views, you'll get some beautiful sunsets over there. And it's about, I'd say, 2 meters from each of the boundaries, so it sits right in the very corner there of the plot. And the fantastic thing about this is it's already an existing building, it's already on the plans, it's got electricity, it's got water supply, it's plumbed into sewage, so everything is here and usable. It's just unfortunate that it's been left and not maintained, and therefore water's got in the roof, and it's just in a bit of a bad state of repair. The cladding isn't particularly great, so it does need a lot of work, and we'd like to turn it into our guest accommodation. So when family and friends come to stay, there's somewhere that they can stay, because as I've said in the previous video, we've got 4 bedrooms excuse me, across the 2 cottages, and all those bedrooms are occupied by ourselves and our children. So this will be a really fantastic place for guests to come and stay. Now, some beautiful roses there, which I'll need to try and keep. But let's just go inside quickly. Now it's full of junk. Unfortunately, it was full of junk when we bought it, and we've just left it as it was. So there's lots of things here that need to be sorted. But as you can see, it's a pretty good space. You can't see out in terms of any of the views, unfortunately. As you can see, we need to cut things down, but you can imagine there will be lovely views out in that direction. And then equally over here, we might just be able to see a little bit through there. There'll be lovely views out that way as well. So a really nice location and a great place for people to come and stay. There's our 3rd Rayburn, one of the others being one of the outbuildings and one in the kitchen. As you can see, water unfortunately has been coming in. There's mould, so I don't quite know the state of the timbers. We're going to have to take some panels off to have a look. But I did take a panel off over here actually, only a couple of days ago, and you can see that it's got decent Celotex insulation. Now I think that's only about 6 centimetres, so I'm probably going to have to double that to come up to modern regs, but there's the space to do it here. Probably another 5 or 6 centimetres there. So I think really it's in pretty good condition. And also I expected all of this to be plasterboard, but it's not. It's actually decent ply. So they've used plywood as well, which is really good. Electrics there, lighting. And then over here, this is the toilet. Again, damp has got in, water's got in. But it's got at least a cold water supply, and the toilet's plumbed in as well. So what I'm hoping for, if I come back out here, I'll explain what the plan is. What I'm hoping to do is to extend the bathroom area slightly so that it can accommodate a shower. So that will become toilet, basin and shower room. And then along here have some kitchen units for a little kitchenette. So nothing too significant, but just maybe a little hob, a microwave, a sink, just the basics. Over here we will put the headboard, the bed up against this wall. Of course this will be extended out, so it'll be a bit wider. So the bed will be here, which will have lovely views out at night and in the mornings, in particular out over the fields and the sunset. And then over here I think we'll try and change these for patio doors. So you'll be able to go out, and I'll probably deck a little area there, so there'll be a little table and chairs outside that you can sit and look out over the fields. And then in this corner here, try and do something with a little seating area, maybe a little sofa, 1 or 2 chairs perhaps. So that's the plan. Quite a lot of work to get it to that point, but I'm hoping that the water hasn't actually damaged any of the beams, and that we can actually take those panels off, let it dry out, and then go from there and use this as a base. Providing the roof is in relatively good condition, we can then look to have the roof redone. Quite interested in perhaps getting rubber rather than just felt, because felt perishes quite easily, particularly in the sun. And then the rest of it should just be relatively straightforward. Although, having said that, looking at the floor, I think it would be wise to insulate the floor as well. So I'll probably have to stud the floor out, put down a waterproof membrane, stud the floor, and then put Celotex in the floor, just to make sure. I mean, it may well have been insulated, but I can't tell, and I don't want to take the risk. So I'll insulate the floor, perhaps insulate the ceiling, depending on the state that it's in and how much insulation is in there. And of course, as I said, probably double the amount of insulation that are in the walls. But if the rest of the timbers are in as good a state as these, then I think we're, we'll be good to go. So that's the outbuilding. The plan is to look at doing this over the next 2 to 3 months. So that's the plan, and I'd like to do the work myself, but it's finding the time. So I'm not sure. We might have to get hold of a carpenter to give me a bit of a hand. We haven't quite decided yet, but this is the plan anyway. And this is our outbuilding. So lots of potential, lots of work to do, and we will keep you updated as we make a start and the work continues. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and thank you too for putting up with my croaky voice. It's hay fever season. Probably wasn't the best idea for a hay fever sufferer to go and buy a house surrounded by fields full of grass, but there we go. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you will be notified then of our future videos, including how we're going to get on with this outbuilding. As I said, we're planning on doing that in the next 2 to 3 months, so make sure that you tune in and follow that journey with us, and we will be back with you very soon. Great, take care, bye.